folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, and I'm glad that you joined us today. It's going to be a great show because calving season is upon us. Things are going to be happening with cows having calves, heifers having calves, and we need to know how to take care of those babies on day one. Today, Dr. Dave Rethorst joins me, and we're going to talk about day one calf care. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. DocTalk brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Dr. Dave, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Well, folks, this is Dr. Dave Rethorst. He's the Director of Outreach for the Beef Cattle Institute. He's got 35 years plus of experience in cow-calf practice in south central Nebraska, all across Kansas, and has been one of those national leaders on the cow-calf front. And we're going to talk about getting these calves up and going and day one. And Dr. Dave, you said something to me before we started shooting that I thought was kind of interesting. You said, we're going to start on day one preparing these calves for weaning.
Absolutely.
Well, hell, we're not going to wean these calves until 200 and some days on feed. What do you mean by that?
Well, we actually started preparing this calf for weaning at the moment of conception because we've managed the nutrition on this mama cow all through pregnancy. We've done the energy right, the protein right, the trace minerals right, and now we got this little booger on the ground, so now it's time to take the next step because what we're after is low stress weaning so we can reduce the amount of respiratory disease we see at weaning time, and we can reduce the antibiotics that we're using, and we can keep our consumer happy.
There we go. And we keep that calf healthy.
Absolutely.
So let's start out, first things first, colostrum. When, something that's vitally important to calf care, how soon do we have to have colostrum in? How, what do you recommend to producers watch on colostrum and that with the heifers and the cows?
I like to see colostrum intake in the first 6 hours if they're getting up and nursing on their own. Anytime you pull a calf, that calf's already stressed, that gut's going to shut down sooner. So if you pull a calf, go ahead and milk that heifer out, milk that cow out, and get at least a quart of colostrum in right there as soon as you pull them. And we need, we think about colostrum as being antibodies, and yes, we're concerned about antibodies for our E. coli and for viruses, but colostrum is also an energy source. It's real high fat content, so it's an energy source for that calf for the first few days. So then that goes back, well, if that cow's in a 5.5 or a 6 body condition score, we've got plenty of fat in that colostrum. Gets that little rascal warmed up a little quicker.
Yep, and energy, protein, great protein source. And I think that people don't understand how much the protein level and energy level diminish in the subsequent, even the second and third milkings compared to that first one.
Oh, absolutely. The antibodies drop off, the protein drops off, fat drops off. That first milk is vitally important.
And if we're going to grab some colostrum, say a cow loses a calf or a heifer, we definitely want to go with a cow colostrum versus a heifer.
Absolutely, because that cow's been exposed to more in her lifetime, so she's going to have a few more strains of antibody in there.
And she's been around the farm. We're going to take a break, folks. When we come back, we're going to start talking about handling that calf, castrating, disc budding, lots of things to come here with Dr. Dave Rethorst.
This hog is Hanover hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at beyondtheelevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Turn to a Central National Bank Ag Professional. You'll be in good company. They'll help you track expense lines, manage variable input costs, assess ground agreements, pick a crop protection plan. These times demand ag professionals. Central National Bank. You could profit from what they know. Ag operations run better on Central Time.
Central National Bank. Money for life.
Member FDIC in your hometown since 1884.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
DocTalk, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Dave Rethorst, and we are from the Beef Cattle Institute at Kansas State University, and we're having a great day today talking about day one calf care. We got the colostrum in their belly and we're getting them warmed up. Let's talk about handling that calf. What are some of the things we want to do day one with when we handle the baby calves?
Well, I heard Dr. Kip Lukasevich talk Saturday out in Dodge, about handling these, and if we've got to chase these calves down with a four-wheeler when we're tagging them, or we're going to put a band on them or something like this, we're training that calf, and we're training, if we chase him down with the four-wheeler, we're training that calf that's how we're going to handle him all his life. And so we need to learn how to handle these calves quietly, handle mama quietly, again, working on that low stress handling, so when we get ready to wean them, they don't take off for the far end of the pasture or bounce off the fence across the way in the pen.
It's really, you're setting the tone for it's kind of like kickoff in a football game. You're setting the tone for the whole game in that first time that you meet that baby calf.
That's absolutely correct.
Now, the one other thing you have to be careful about is maybe not chasing the cow or the calf, but maybe the cow chasing you.
Well, yeah, but if we kind of work with these cows a little bit and they figure out that, take her time, sometimes you have to, as Bud Williams always used to say, you got to stop and roll a smoke once in a while. Might take you a little longer than you have on plan, but let that cow know what you're doing, and most times you can get up to them without them eating your lunch.
It's kind of like a lot of things that as you gain wisdom, I don't want to say as we get old, but as you gain wisdom, taking a little more time and rolling the smoke and doing it right.
Yep.
You always wondered how the old timers had those horses that were so broke and the dogs that were so well trained and the cattle that moved through the facilities. It's because they took their time and did it right.
They were patient.
Yeah. And I think that patience and kindness and thinking of the long-term outcome rather than the short-term gain is important.
Right, absolutely. If you got a basketball game you have to be to in 15 minutes, let the calf go till morning to tag him.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I have a few of those to go to.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's jump into here. We got about a minute before the break. Let's jump into castration quick and just briefly discuss what you're wanting to do with castration.
That we've got to get these calves castrated sooner. Castrating a 500-pound calf at weaning or an 800-pound yearling just does not make sense in this day and age. If we can do it at birth with a little green donut, that's great. We can slip that on there as we're tagging that calf. We don't have to worry about lidocaine or meloxicam or anything else. Let's just get it done and we're in good shape. Another stress associated with weaning that goes away when we do that.
Yep, and I just read a paper that shows that we don't lose performance in those calves. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about castration. We're going to lean into disc budding, and we'll talk about some of the vaccinations that maybe you're going to do on day one. You're watching Doc Talk. More after the break.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. The BQA Tip of the Day, sponsored by Beringer Engelheim Vetmedica Inc.
Hello folks, this is Dr. Nels Lindberg with Animal Medical Center and Production Animal Consultation. Today's BQA tip of the day isn't so much a tip, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge to you producers, stockmen, cattlemen, horsemen, whatever part of the beef industry you're involved in, to get BQA certified. It's extremely important for your education, for the success of our industry, and also for the health and well-being of these cattle that we care for every single day. Nobody cares for these cattle more than we do, but it's very important for us to get further educated in this process. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is go to bqa.org or even contact the Beef Cattle Institute at Kansas State University, and they'd be more than happy to help you through the process. It's easy, it's simple, let's get it done. Thanks.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
DocTalk, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan and Dr. Dave from the Beef Cattle Institute talking about day one calf care. So the calf has hit the ground. We handled it appropriately. We didn't chase it down. We took our time, had our patients, got colostrum in, made sure it got good colostrum intake in the first 6 hours. Castration, do it when they're babies.
Absolutely.
Lastrator band, make sure you get both testicles.
Yeah, if you're going to use a lastrator band, make sure you get both testicles. If you use a knife, that's acceptable at that stage too, and you get both testicles then.
Exactly. So castrate them when you're young. And again, as I said leaving the break, I've seen some research recently looking at castrating baby calves versus castrating them at weaning, and when you look at throughout the weaning process, there's no difference in the body weight of those calves. So one of the things that producers worry about is losing performance. Actually, you have equal performance because you decrease stress.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about disbudding, because I don't want to use the term dehorning.
Okay.
Because I think once the horn is attached to the skull, unless we're doing it for some reason, in a commercial calf operation, I don't see any reason to take those horns off.
Right.
So
let's just get the buds off of there before they're attached to the skull.
What is a bud?
A bud is what turns into the horn. It's about the size of a quarter, and it's cornified tissue, but it hasn't attached to the skull. It's still in the skin.
Okay, so it's still, as long as it's still movable, that's a bud.
That's a bud, and you can have some of those that buds that are 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch long, and they're still going to be loose on the skull. So
I think that the other thing is that people don't get is that over 50% of dairy cows are born with horns or buds.
Right.
We just don't ever know it or don't see them in the parlor because they disbud all those baby calves on dairies on day one.
Yeah. Or very, very, for sure week one.
So how are the ways that you disbud?
You can disbud with paste, rough that bud up a little bit with a knife or something, put some paste on there, and it's a chemical cauterization. We can use a hot iron disbudding, when the calves are a little older, like on typical grass turnout time on these beef calves, we can use a hot iron of some kind and burn that bud.
I've seen the little butane disbudders that you can carry in the glove box of the pickup.
Yep.
And a lot of dairymen using those and can grab that calf. You're putting the tag in, you lacerate her on there and disbud them, and you're done.
And you're done.
And the stress is nothing.
Yeah, because you do that, they're going to go over and nurse mom. They're going to walk over a few feet, lay down, take a nap, and by the time they wake up for their nap, they're great.
It's great for welfare, great for everything that we're doing. When we come back from the break, more with Dr. Dave Breathhorst, and we'll talk about day one calf care.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484. This Meet the Future Veterinarian is brought to you by Zuprevo. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Amanda Emery recently received an AmStut scholarship. Raised on a beef and crop farm in Indiana, she is a second-year vet student at Purdue University. Passionate about animal agriculture and public health, Amanda has served in Haiti with the Christian Veterinary Mission and is also pursuing a Master's of Public Health degree at the University of Minnesota.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Turn to Essential National Bank Ag Professional. You'll be in good company. They'll help you track expense lines, manage variable input costs, assess ground agreements, pick a crop protection plan. These times demand ag professionals. Central National Bank. You could profit from what they know. Ag operations run better on Central Time.
Central National Bank, money for life.
Member FDIC in your hometown since 1884.
This segment is brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan and Dr. Dave from the BCI at Kansas State University's College of Vet Med. We're talking about day one calf care, and let's get to the last two. We have navel
Okay.
care and blackleg or vaccinations. So with the navels, what are you telling producers?
You know, if it's it depends situation. If you're out in native grass pasture and calving out there, I don't see any need to dip navels. But if you're, calving heifers in a dry lot and there's a lot of manure around and things like that, probably best to dip the navels and use strong iodine to dip those. Don't use the tame stuff.
Because navel ill is E. coli.
Right.
And if you have in a dry lot and the contact with the E. coli or the fecal matter in those dry lots with the navel, you can get that wicking and get an infection there. And then, folks, that goes systemic, and you get the joint ill and just like you do in foals.
Right. And the other thing that plays into the navel ill management goes back to colostrum intake. Yep. If you've got good colostrum in those calves, you help reduce the need to iodine those navels.
Yep. All right, blacklegs or vaccination on day one, is that something that we do right off the bat, or do we wait till turnout, or what do you think?
That's another it depends, Dan.
Okay. Yep.
In a lot of these real high growth calves that we see anymore, where we're feeding the cows well, we get out 4 to 6 weeks old and we'll start seeing what we call these enterotoxemia calves. The biggest, best doing calf will all of a sudden puff up and you'll find him dead in a couple hours. We get Clostridium out of those when we take them to the D lab. Some people think that, giving a 7-way blackleg at birth helps on that.
Jury's still out?
Jury's still out. I really think that the type A preferentions probably has more to do with it than the C and D. But
so the real thing is on the blackleg is make sure we get it in there before the calves start nibbling on grass and grazing in those hot spot pastures.
Right. Yeah. The big thing is make sure at spring branding that you're getting a good 7-way blackleg in them then. We're also probably putting a modified live viral in them then to start dealing with respiratory disease. But we sure want to get a blackleg in them before they go to summer pasture.
Cool. So cattle handling, key, Clostridium, maybe not so key, but make sure we get it at the time of branding.
All goes back to basic animal husbandry practices and good management. We don't have to manage through a needle.
Cool. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Good to be here.
Folks, thanks for watching Doc Talk. Be sure to work with your local veterinarian. And if you want to know more about what Dr. Dave and I do here at K-State, you can find us on the web at www.vet.ksu.edu. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Doc Talk. You've been watching us today. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.